Welcome to the ArmaniTalks YouTube channel. I'm your host, ArmaniTalks. In this channel, we're discussing communication skills in an unorthodox way. Ways that you would never expect before, we cover in this channel. So if it's your first time here, be sure to hit that subscribe button right down below, along with that bell notification. What's one of these unorthodox ways that you mentioned, Armani? Well, today's episode, I'm going to be talking about how chaos is one of the best things in order to become a better communicator. This doesn't sound intuitive at first, because the word chaos is defined as a state of disorder and confusion. What could possibly good come from that? The beauty is that in the communication skills world, everything is unpredictable. You never know what's going to happen next. And this is where we're using chaos. We're leveraging chaos in a way where we're making it our servant, no longer our master. And for us to do that, we have to understand that there's two sorts of chaos out there. There's voluntary chaos, and then there's involuntary chaos. Voluntary chaos is us going to the gym. If an alien were to land on this planet for the first time ever, they'll ask, "What is this gym you speak of, Earthling?" And you describe it. And the alien is going to ask, "Wait, you pay money to go to this place where you put your body through pain? What's wrong with you?" And you as the Earthling, you're going to say, wait, I know exactly what you're thinking right now, but I put my body through pain. I put my body through a state of confusion, disorder, because ultimately it's going to make me stronger. This is called voluntary chaos. Involuntary chaos is when we get rear-ended by another car. This isn't something that we asked for. It just sort of happened, and this was another form of disorder and confusion. So thus far, we understand that there's two sorts of chaos, voluntary and involuntary. Us as communicators, our goal is to amplify the voluntary chaos. And in this video, I'm going to give you two examples from my life where I invited chaos and it surprisingly made me a better communicator. And by understanding my examples, you may also be able to see how you can tie chaos into your life, not involuntarily, but voluntarily. So the first example, I launched my ArmaniTalks Twitter account on June 2018. And during that time, I was writing all these different tweets, and luckily, my account was growing rather fast. With the account growing fast, I got a lot of positive feedback, and I got a lot of negative feedback as well. For the most part, whenever this happened, the positive feedback, I was happy. But for the negative feedback, I would think, well, what I do wrong, man? Oh no, what do I do next? The rational side of me said, how about you stop saying this stuff that gets you the negative feedback? Then these bad people will go away. That's what the rational side of me said. But the irrational side of me said, no, don't do that. Instead, get the comments, screenshot it, put it into a folder in your phone, and occasionally look at it. I thought this was the stupidest thing I ever heard. But the irrational side of you every now and then has a lot of creative insights that you would have never thought of with your intellectual side. So I decided to give it a try. All right, anytime I get a mean comment, I'm going to screenshot it and put it into a folder called mean comments. As I did this for a few days, a few weeks, and I would occasionally read through the mean comments, I started to notice something. I started to notice that this actually made me more creative. Because if I was just running away from this, then I would have attached a negative perception towards it. But since I voluntarily invited that level of chaos into my phone, it's as though I took power over it. And from there was an element of fearlessness that was born regarding mean comments, negative comments. And from there, from the fearlessness, a level of creativity emerged, which now for the ArmaniTalks Twitter page, I feel more bold to say whatever I want to say. So in this context, this first example, I was able to invite chaos into my phone, and it led to practical benefits for my expression on Twitter. This is the first example. The second example of me introducing chaos voluntarily is right here, this YouTube channel. When I first started this YouTube channel, I wanted it to be a playground where I can exercise my communication skills. So anytime I had to give a speech or MC an event, I would be ready. Well, how can we make this extremely difficult? How can this YouTube channel be made as difficult as possible in context to my brand? Well, one thing is to practice thinking on feet skills. So Armani, you can't give yourself too much time to prepare any topic. I want you to exercise your thinking on feet skills. That's one form of chaos. What's another form of chaos? Another form of chaos is not cutting out the parts where you mess up. You are going to record a video from beginning to end, and you're not going to edit out parts that you're messing up. This is going to force you to think in a steady stream of thought and work out your concentration muscle. All right, second form of chaos. What's another thing that you can do? Well, I had this nice chair that I'm sitting on right now, but what I did to this nice chair is I took off the left screw from one of the sides. So anytime I move around, you hear a little strange noise. This forces me to sit still. So that's another form of chaos. Okay, can you do anything else? Well, by speaking from beginning to end and unbalancing myself, this forces me to exercise my breathing in a different way. And speaking for an extended period of time, it's easy to run out of breath. So that's another form of chaos, being unbalanced like this in a physical state. So all different forms of chaos that's being introduced. I see what you're saying, bro, but I don't really see this having any practical benefit for you at all. On the contrary, it has. Since starting my YouTube channel, there's been a few times where there's people from Tampa that would hit me up and say, "Yo, Armani, I have an event that I'm throwing the day after tomorrow and I need an MC. I know it's super late, but do you think you can MC?" Old school me, before introducing this form of chaos, would have said, "Day after tomorrow? Fuck no, man. Find someone else. Let me know sooner next time." But the side of me that has practiced through chaos, practiced his thinking on feet skills, practiced the memorization skills, practiced the breathing skills, is saying, sure, sign me up. And if you want to check out one of the events where I had to MC in 1 to 2 days' time, I'll link it in the description box right on below. It's an event for entrepreneurs in the Tampa Bay region. But this was another example of inviting chaos willingly into a domain which had practical benefits into the real world. It's not just for emceeing, it's even for conversation skills nowadays. It's much easier to concentrate because in this world, I'm being forced to concentrate. So these are two examples of how willingly inviting chaos into the domain of communication skills helped in a practical sense. One case was Twitter, the other case was YouTube. What this goes on to show is that willingly inviting chaos gets you to become a non-linear thinker. You're more battle-tested. You feel better in situations which seem non-predictable. It's because you invited one element of your life where unpredictability was the intention for you. So in case with your life, it doesn't necessarily have to be Twitter or YouTube. I'm only doing Twitter, YouTube, and communication skills realm because that's what I'm trying to get better at. If you're trying to become a better gardener, you may not find the best use for this. But get your creativity muscle involved. See how, as a gardener, you can make things a little bit more difficult. And you're not just making it difficult because it involuntarily happened to you, but it's because you voluntarily invited it into your domain. This can work with communication skills. It could work with gardening. It could work with entertainment, anything out there, because it's not just something with communication skills relation. It's something with human dynamics relation. The mind is something that's capable of entropy. It's something that's capable of devolving if we don't challenge it. With the body, if you never take it to the gym, if you just lie on the bed and you just take naps all day, then the body feels weaker. But when we take the body to the gym, then that form of chaos actually makes it stronger over time. So that's a brilliant part of creativity that we often sleep on. It's the chaos theory. It's where order emerges from disorder. And if you're not seeing the order yet, it's maybe because you're too soon in the game. Keep pushing it forward, pushing it forward, pushing it forward, and there's this picture that can emerge over time, and you're gonna think, whoa, chaos theory is real. Level up the voluntary chaos, and the involuntary chaos that eventually comes, it's another vehicle for expression, it's another vehicle for creativity. If today's episode helped you and you learned a thing or two about how chaos works, how chaos relates to creativity, how creativity leads to communication skills, be sure to check out my free daily newsletter where I drop insights like this routinely. Insights that you normally won't find on Google or other YouTube channels. You're only going to find it on the Armani Talks newsletter. To join the tribe of thousands of people, check out the link in the description box right on below. And thank you for joining the Armani Talks YouTube channel. I'll catch you on the next episode.